I have a question. Bioware, what the hell happened exactly? I really need to know what went wrong where. Because this isn't just a mistake. This isn't just a little issue. This is a huge fuck up. I'm pretty sure you're aware I'm talking about Mass Effect Andromeda and just how badly they screwed that game up. I'm amazed at this point, actually. It's just a fuck up on so many levels. The first thing you'll notice, of course, is the characters. Especially in the character creator, but the default ones even look like shit. They all look terrible. I I think this is because Bioware or the employees there right now don't know how the fuck to use Frostbite engine, and they didn't get anybody that did to help them. So it's just, I think a lot of the animation and character issues are stemming from that, because, oh god, there's a lot of them. And it's not just the humans either. The aliens don't look right. I mean, for fuck's sake, the Krogan look terrible. The Turians, they look kind of passable. The only ones that look okay are the Solarians. They don't look like they've changed much at all. Every other one, it looks like they either had to change them out of necessity for the Frostbite, or they didn't know what they were doing with the Frostbite, and they look god-awful, and they walk god-awful. I mean, some of the movement animations I've seen from not only your character, but other characters in cutscenes, if you've ever seen that Vince McMahon walking down the stage gif, where his arms and legs are all noodly, that's this. But that's intended. Or intended, I should say, because this seems like a bug. I've seen so many images and so many short clips going around of things that are obvious bugs that Bioware either didn't fix or can't fix. Eyes darting to and fro. That's when they're not just like dead frozen. Characters stuck in default animation position. No movement, no nothing. That's an obvious bug. Just, it's thing after thing after thing I've seen in so many different playthroughs, and I've watched a good few playthroughs so far. Now, to EA's credit, I think that they were thinking that allowing people who pre-ordered the game to play for 10 hours before the game's release, but also sponsoring some popular Let's Players to play the game for that first 10 hours, that was probably a good idea in theory. I don't think they realized just how bad Bioware screwed up with this. And I'm not saying this is all on Bioware. I'm pretty sure a good few of these decisions were caused by EA itself. But at some point, it doesn't matter how much meddling EA did, Bioware did not know what the fuck they were doing. And I am a staunch defender of Bioware. I mean, I have played every single Bioware game ever. I only stopped with the recent couple games, but I have played from Baldur's Gate on every Bioware game. And own them. Sometimes multiple copies. I'm an old school fan. I love their work. So for me to see this, and for me to say all this, that it was so bad, it's weird to me that it's gotten to this point. But facts are facts, and this game so far that they've shown everything is shit. It's not just the animation either. That's just the start of it. The writing and dialogue is, again, kind of crap. I'd say high school or college entry level would probably be about adequate. It's not just the writing itself, though. It's the delivery of the dialogue. A lot of the voice actors sound like they are just reading from the script. They aren't putting any inflection or character or anything into it. They're just blank, dead reading from the script. Which, granted, the script isn't giving them much to go with, but I expect some level of effort. Everything that they've been doing in this is wrong, and every time I see something, my one sort of saving grace hope was, there's going to be a day one patch, there's going to be a day one patch, there's going to be a day one patch. Last night, and this is what ultimately drove me to make this video, a Bioware dev said that the game that everyone is playing right now includes the day one patch. This is the final release version. You've got to be kidding me. This is not only the worst Mass Effect game ever, this might go down as BioWare's worst game ever, period. And that's just touching on the base level stuff. I haven't even gotten to the actual gameplay itself. It seems like what BioWare wanted to do was, or what EA told BioWare to do, I don't know which, was go from an action RPG to a Ubisoft-style open-world game. And it does not look good. The way that they did it, the way it was handled, just everything about it looks bad and feels bad. There's a lot of inconsistencies, issues. Just, it feels, if you remember how Dragon Age Inquisition was, think that, but worse. Which I know to a lot of people would be astounding, because Dragon Age Inquisition was not good by any stretch of the imagination. And this is more a personal pet peeve, but my least favorite system from Dragon Age Inquisition was the war table thing. Well, you send your people on missions and then they complete them in real time. It felt sort of like a free-to-play mechanic, that the game was hindering you, that you had to play on their terms, not yours. They brought that back, because of course they did, but not only that, from what I've seen, and maybe I'm misinterpreting it, it looks like the missions themselves are also on a real-world timer, not just the mission completion. So they will eventually go away or change or reset or whatever. In a single-player game, that I don't see why you would do that. I really don't. Again, that's just a personal pet peeve. Maybe people like that. I'm not one to judge if you do. It just seems like a really weird and bad decision to me. I haven't touched on the multiplayer because I haven't really been paying attention to the multiplayer, and I don't really care for multiplayer. Maybe the multiplayer is a saving grace to this game. Though multiplayer in Mass Effect has usually been tacked on, especially in 3. So I wouldn't bet the farm on the multiplayer being fantastic and the thing that saves this game. I'm going to go back to my original point. What the hell happened, BioWare? Since the doctors left, I've noticed a steady decline in quality. But this is just pathetic. I've theorized that the main reason for this is because There's no experienced veteran at Bioware anymore. I think that the majority of their employees are either people that have worked for Bioware for less than 5 years, or people that were in other EA studios that EA shuffled over to Bioware. When I say that, I mean like a combination of both. I don't think there's anyone that's actually worked at Bioware specifically for more than 5 years, and it kind of shows in all of this. Again, I'd be happy to be wrong and that there are a lot of experienced veterans still there, like old school Bioware experienced veterans. But then, if this is what they have to show for all that experience, they might not want to say that they've been in the industry that long. I figure EA is going to be pretty pissed at this because this is a long time and money investment, and everything I've seen on forums and discussion boards and everything, if people have seen the game, this has been a giant do not buy. EA's strategy would have been pretty good, I think, if this was a good game, or at least a competent game, but there have just been so many issues with it. Every time people see it, it's like, do not touch, do not touch. And no, I'm not defending EA. I hate EA. I think a lot of the issues that are going on with Bioware are because of EA. Unfortunately, it's now gotten to a point where I think the only thing holding Bioware together is EA. But if this is what we can expect out of Bioware from now on, I think it's time to shut them down, because they are not anywhere the Bioware of old. And like I said, it feels weird for me to say that. I've been a long-time Bioware fan and a long-time Bioware defender. And this just isn't Bioware anymore, you know? I'm guessing 6 months down the road, they'll have fixed a lot of the bugs through patches and updates. And of course, sold a lot of DLC. But I expect a game to work on release. I don't usually deal in hope for the future of the game. And neither does the gaming media right now. I've seen a lot of reports from gaming sites that are mixed, to say the least. Which is kind of odd. From the traditional gaming media, I expected them to defend this game to the death. I guess that shows how bad it really is. Even they can't defend Bioware. A lot of YouTube personalities have said the game is crap. A lot of the old traditional gaming media are saying that it's bad. And I would love to be wrong. I would love that just the first 8-10 hours of the game are bad, and then it gets better and really good in the middle and late game. But I seriously doubt that. I don't think I've ever seen a game that was horrible in the beginning and then got incredibly good in the middle and end, so much that it completely negated the bad beginning. If you know a game like that, feel free to tell me, but I can't remember any, because I don't think they exist. Normally they try to make them good in the beginning so that people will keep playing and they don't lose interest in the early stages. There are still a lot of hardcore Bioware defenders out there that are saying that this is not the final product, and oh, you're just misjudging it, and oh, you're just being a hater or looking for reasons to hate this game, stuff like that. And I come from that to a degree. because I am such a longtime fan of Bioware, but even I realize how bad this is and that it's time to give up the ghost. You can't keep defending a pile of shit. You just can't. Eventually, you're going to have to realize that this is a bad game. Bioware fucked up. Maybe they can fix it. I hope. Part of me doubts that, and part of me thinks that this is probably going to be the end of Bioware. EA is known for not taking too kindly to big losses, like I'm expecting this game to be. It's just sad that it's come to this. I guess the old saying is true about living long enough to see your heroes, huh? Maybe next time. Anyway, this has been Math Machine, just complaining about the great fall of Bioware and hoping for a better future for them. Peace out.